your best men, send in your best friends, send in your best gin, 'cause we are at it again. We've come to race, we came to this place to bring out the best face, so get ready to hear those who have to fall, right here inside of the Citadel. Don't just think you have what it takes, since very few can dare beat the high stakes. Go in and fight for all you got, or else you may just be left to rot. Take your aim, look straight far away, because this is your Send in your best men, send in your best friends, send in your best gin, 'cause we are at it again. We've come to race, we came to this place to bring out the best place, so get ready to hear those who have to fall, right here inside of the Citadel. Citadel! 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 People, prepare yourselves. It's time to get to the Citadel. City that was once quiet is now about to be heard by crowds of delight, because the day has now come upon us to roar back to life with speeds and alarms. There's no going back from here, 'cause we've chosen this life to be cleared.
Hello again, race fans, back here onto the show and back onto the track here as we are getting ready for today's action here of the Citadel Next Gen Series here. As the drivers right now get ready to line up into their gridding field. Here you got 11 with us here. Driver of the 18 will be Christopher Cassad. The 17 is Nicholas Shriver. And the 26 is Dylan Jasperson. The 23 is Isaiah Davis there. And the number 14, that'll be Gabe Chavez. And the 12 is Joshua Hayes. And the 44, that'll be Alex Wilson. And in the 15, that is Jonathan Shoemaker. In the 84, it's Luke Dietz, as well as the 33 of Samuel Mitchell. And then finally, the force is Reese Kelva, rounding out our field for today here as we are getting ready to send it on down to the track and down into performance here. Off down to the green, off to the green spike. We're flying high here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. And caution out on the track already out of the gate here. Something going wrong there on the circuit. Looks like we got one down on the very bottom end of the circuit. Looks like that might be the number 14 there of Gabe Chavez here. We'll have to go take a look at the Speed Zone TV Instant Replay brought to you in part by our friends over at Dead Man's Hit List. Let's take a look at what happened here. Looks like coming out of the gate here, everybody getting a little bit of a jump out of the spot. Some better than others, going 3 wide out of the gate, and that's usually no man's land at a track like this. Gets tagged up there, it looks like, by the 44, I believe, and that was pretty much all she wrote. Not the start a lot of them were looking for, nor was it the start I think anybody was really kind of expecting in this case. So the field now right now getting squared back up onto the circuit here. We'll have a listen down here at some of our drivers and see how they are feeling about going into this one today. Should be interesting to hear from some of them here as we get a listen down here. We're talking with Alex Wilson now here on the track. Alex, you got a copy down there?
Yeah.
All right. Oops, sorry about that. Well, nevertheless, here, Alex, obviously, I know kind of a little bit of a head scratch out of the gate there. Kind of had to go down to the very bottom into a 3-wide situation there. What was kind of going through your mindset there after you kind of had to run down there so fly?
I didn't want to go to it, but when they started bottlenecking up in front of me, I didn't want to run anybody, so I dropped it down, and I just couldn't get back up off the apron. Unfortunately, I ran into him.
Now, with that kind of in the mindset here, obviously, I know it's going to be a little bit of a longer run and a longer race for you guys here. What do you do to kind of keep the strategy at bay and keep things well in your reach here, you feel?
I'm probably just going to kind of cruise here for the first little bit and just try to avoid any wrecks, and then last 50 laps or so, try to make a push towards the front.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, here we do appreciate your time down there, Alex. Thank you so much for coming on by, and we'll hopefully see you a little bit up in the higher spots later.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, fans. Alex Wilson having a quick little chat with us there on the solo here as we get ready to roll it back onto the track here. I do apologize for kind of the delayed start here. We had some mechanical gremlins as well as my voice kind of kicked out a bit. It's been a long couple of days here. So, nevertheless, back onto the green flag here, rolling back onto the circuit, and here we go again. Very surprising here. We do not have the bounty hunter Sean Bounty with us today. Though his reign of terror already was ended last time out, I guarantee you that doesn't stop any of these drivers from trying to make some speed and make some momentum up where they can. You're going to be looking for a lot of hard runners and a lot of hard racers throughout this one. And just like Wilson said, you heard him say we kind of got to lay low a little bit, kind of keep things a little bit more under control. Certainly is doing that here, trying to stay clear of Dylan Jasperson right now as he gets into a big battle there off with Isaiah Davis. Cassad leading with Shriver behind right now, but it is Davis who has a little bit of a fearless move coming down off the lanes and through the chicanes. As you got one up on the wall there off the top, that's Luke Dietz there. The 84 right now trying to get that on the road and back on the racing surface. Again with Bristol here again, it's 250 laps, but you got to think for a second, that's a long 250 laps to have to march to the beat of your own drum, try to keep things stabilized, and look for the perfect time to strike, perfect times to hit the pit road. It's a lot as a driver to have to be able to figure out and a lot to have to kind of deal with in that scenario. And you're going to see a lot more of it as it goes along today. Mounting the bracket down and mounting the charge here. Nicholas Schreiber getting closer to Cassad there for that brief moment, but now must surrender as he has a hard runner up on his inside. Isaiah Davis now making the big launch and charge on the 17. Oh, and right down to the inside. Big slam off the bottom. Shriver into the wall and down there with a 23. Yellow, yellow, yellow. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. What a nasty collision coming off the corner there. And you just got to be thinking in the back of your mind, just knowing that it can happen at any time, especially with a car that's fragile and tough to control as this thing. And right there, again, just overdrove it off the exit. Rear end slips out, slammed down in the 23. Even got the number 12 there, unfortunately, of Joshua Hayes. And, man, just absolute calamity mixing in. Nothing you could do about it. Now Shriver having to go into pit road to get that thing fixed up if he can possibly do it. But that is just a tumultuously bad spot to have to deal with. And to feel in this case, I mean, I gotta believe that is one very angry, frustrated driver inside that 17 right now. Yeah, it came right up, makes a clap. The number 12 looks like the 23 did suffer quite a bit of damage, but the worst obviously coming on the 17 side, unfortunately. And yeah, we'll talk with him a little later and see what happened there. But unfortunately, that was not what he wanted to do, and definitely not what he had in mind. We'll take it down now here into the top spots here real quick. I have a quick word with the driver, the number 26, Dillard Jaspin. Dylan, you got a copy down there?
Yes, sir.
Well, Dylan, right now here, things kind of going haywire for some of the drivers, and it seems like it honestly is kind of boiled down to the cold set of tires. Talk me through like why that is and how tough it is to get these cold sets back to a more heated grip for the track.
Well, it's a lot of throttle control. It's really easy to think you can smash on the gas with the banking, and yeah, with cold tires, it does not agree with you on that.
Does not agree indeed. Now, obviously, you said there's a lot of banking up there too, and you got a lot of drivers trying to run the bottom and the top side for you. Where has kind of been the line you feel is kind of the best to really nail down around here and kind of go for in this case?
I normally am way more comfy on the bottom line here. I can't always make it stick, but it's where the car for me feels more comfortable.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, we're going to get you back to the green flag here, so we do appreciate your time down there, Dylan. Good luck on the rest of this race, my friend.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Dylan Jasperson, ladies and gentlemen, having a quick little chat with us here as we get ready to fire him back up. Field marching their way right off onto the front straightaway here. Cassad will lay them down here. Wilson and Jasperson trying to hunt him down. Jasperson said he liked being on the bottom, but he had to go onto the top for that first leg. And Wilson getting the American due. Its dream come true. Fired up quickly, makes his rounds. Kind of surprising again that you saw a driver earlier on say he was going to try to take it a little easier, but has done anything but. And Nicholas Shriver now in the 17 finally getting the car back out on the track. But again, 6 laps down is going to be a long road ahead for recovery here. The field marching their way down around the track right now. Driver on the number 4, Reese Kelva, getting inside lane of the number 14, and Gabe Chavez. Chavez having to back down. Did not want to find himself in another mismatch or another heck up there. But will have his work in shoot for him as the 33 of Samuel Mitchell pulls up quickly in the 8-bit racing team. And Isaiah Davis again having to get that damage fixed up on that 23, despite the little situation he had there with the 17. Seems to be trying to get quickly back on the run to get that lap back. And again, race fans, I do apologize in advance here on the announcer's booth here if I do sound a little bit off. My voice is a bit down right now. It was a long 3 days of announcing here on my end, so I'm a little bit, how we say, a little tired out, if you will. But my voice will come back, don't worry. It doesn't take long. just like a singer. You strengthen it up after a while. And speaking of strengthening up after a while, trouble down on the back straightaway. More issues for the number 12, Joshua Hayes. As you saw that battle going on down there. Hayes, no caution out. Trying to get it refired quickly, get things back on the track. A big battle shoot up between Chavez and Mitchell was going down, but it was Hayes who found himself in a nasty situation, slamming in the inside walls. We take a look at the replay. And again, it looked like from my end there that Hayes Haas Racing number 12 just found a little bit too much of the apron. He shot up too quickly. Again, with that speed and power you have there, you can't use the apron and then all of a sudden try to bring it back up that quickly. The car just will not handle it right. And the officials not calling for that caution in this case here, as he was out of the driver's reach, but the caution is out on the track now, it looks like. So it looks like they did throw the caution. Indeed, Hayes is in pit road, and he's going to try to get that fixed up as quick as he can here. We're going to take it down now and talk with some of the other drivers here onto the track here. Oh, sorry, Reese. You okay?
Yep, all good, buddy.
All right, I was just going to say, Reese, right now, currently quite a bit of a runoff here and quite a bit of a battle you're dealing with here. You've gone 8 spots from the back stack and making your way up, but, I mean, I got to ask you, what's going on with that damage on the front of the nose there?
Not good. Not good. We're going to try to hold off until we need some more tires. I don't know. Dylan just got a little loose coming out of the turn. Had nowhere to go. Too much power. So, yeah, but it feels good. Hey, not one practice lap. So we've been on vacation. We're going to see what we can end up with here today.
See what we can end up as well here. Reese, I got to ask you, I know obviously things are a little bit crazy around here with these cold sets, and obviously the track not wearing up as much as you guys probably would want it to here. I mean, for this kind of car, though, and this kind of racing, really, what's kind of been the strategy and the game plan here dealing with this kind of a lane of a car?
Yeah, this thing's loose. I don't know how else to say it. I don't know. Bristol is not really my best track, so you might want to go ask Nick that question, to be honest. I am just wheeling the absolute piss out of this car, and somehow it's working.
It seems to be working indeed. Well, nevertheless, Reese, I do appreciate coming on by, man. Good luck trying to figure out how to keep a loose car in check.
All right, buddy. Adios, amigo.
Adios, my friend. Well, Reese Calva definitely quite an energetic one, isn't he? Definitely good to hear from him here, and good to hear from the other drivers right now as we're getting ready to file everything back in place. Christopher Cassad, Alex Wilson, Reese Kelva, Samuel Mitchell, all now ready to run their lanes and run their position here. Everybody wants a piece of the top spots. They want a piece of the top lanes here. But again, to get there, you must work for it. You must earn it. And it's about time we see them go at it again. Green flag, back on out. Here we go again. Green flag up. Cassad and Kelva moving up the chain. Chavez, Mitchell, and Wilson all in that battle too. A crisscross off turn number 4 between the number 44 and the 84. Samuel Mitchell looking on. Sees Wilson trying to get some momentum back up on his feet. Trying to get a run back onto the lane here. Nobody is safe around here. You've got to stay focused. Got to stay in the moment. Don't let your inner demons try to get the better of you. Live in the race. Live in the time. Do not give anything to the other drivers. Everybody looking on here, just looking at sheer power and joy. But it seems as though, honestly, like I said, that they may be trying not to bite off more than they can chew. A lot of that considering the fact that, again, you run as hard as you do in these kind of lanes, these kind of drives. It can change a driver pretty quickly. And they know all too well what happens when one driver may get out of line, get out a little bit into the uneasy zone. Up to the front right now, Kelva with some company on his doorstep. Chavez and Mitchell moving up quickly. Mitchell again using the extreme bottom lane here. It seems as though the inside lane in the Verb is the correct line to use, the correct way to race it. But again, it is early, so we cannot for sure say whether or not that will remain to be the case. What we do know is that, again, their focus and drive is only matched by their level of expertise and what they are bringing to the table here in this kind of predicament. Field marching their way on around here. Mitchell and Chavez trying to keep things well within their reach, well within their own grasp. Don't want to get yourself into something ugly. Yeah, you want to keep yourself in the moment. Mitchell going 8 spots up. Chavez currently in the running for the top honors here, but he's going to have company coming up on his doorstep. Whoa, nasty wreck coming right in front here. Right in big mess coming off. Isaiah Davis in the number 23 with a bad situation here on the straightaway. Causing the caution to come out here. You saw it just kind of floating right up in your end there here. Let's take a look at the replay. Speed Zone TV Instant Replay brought to you in part by Lightning Wraps. Came right out and it just looked like he got loose on his own yet again from the bottom lane this time. This car is not giving an inch, and it's not giving the drivers a chance. It's almost like just having to figure out how to time your strategy right and time it well. And if there's one driver we know that knows how to time a strategy pretty well down there, it might be this guy here. The driver, the number 15, Jonathan Shoemaker, is now joining me here. Jonathan, how you doing down there, buddy?
Not too shabby, Chris. How you doing today, sir?
Well, other than my voice being kind of down and out here, not too bad. And, you know, really for you and your team here, Jonathan, obviously quite a bit going at stake, quite a bit on the line here. But talk me through, like, what's been kind of your game plan, because you've been staying out of trouble and kind of avoiding folks quite a bit so far.
Yes, sir. You know just how my luck has been this season. Through the first few weeks, I've really struggled to avoid the nonsense. So, going into this race today, my game plan has kind of been to just be as conservative as possible, keep the car safe, let other people, make dumb mistakes, push too hard too early. It's a long race. We got 250 laps here. So, like I said, just trying to keep the car safe and, get through the end. I don't have a teammate out here with me today, so I'm just trying to get some points up there for Rebel Racing and many points as I can for myself and the team.
For sure there. Now, one thing I do want to ask you, too, here, obviously, you're about 1/8 of the race done with this one so far. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more drivers kind of coming and going on terms of those tires. Like, how much more difficult does it get as the tires wear in to keep that speed up?
And that's going to be a key factor here as we get farther and farther and we get more in these runs and we don't see guys take tires or take pit stops at all. You will see that fall off, and to be honest, I'm not super sure on how much the fall off's gonna happen, but I'm ready for it.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, here, Jonathan, we do appreciate your time down there. Best of luck as you get ready to back to the green.
Appreciate it, Chris. You have a good one.
You too, my friend. Jonathan Shoemaker going to have to go right back out of here as they lead him down onto the green flag run. Well, that did not go according to plan for him. Missed that. It looks like he missed an entire bit of gears there and opens the door up for everyone else to start making their way around. Tires also playing strategy here. Some fresh sets went on with some of these drivers here. Oh, but that doesn't mean anything around here. Nasty situation in front. Oh, I just jinxed old Shoemaker down there too with it. Well, I'll take blame for that one there, Shoemaker. Let's take a look at the replay and figure out what the heck happened here. This was not a good situation here, unfortunately. Looked like Reese Kelva basically just came into the corner. You can see right here. Yeah, he just overdrove it off the end there. Big puff of smoke trying to avoid it. And then Diaz, you can see basically just kind of trying to get out of that mess as well. But unfortunately, he did not keep things intact or in control. Now watch again with the smoke here. You're going to see the smoke coming on the left side of your screen. And Diaz now trying to avoid it. Again, when you're trying to turn in that quick or that sudden, these cars just don't tolerate it that well. And Diaz getting a nasty big slam on the back of the nose and on the right front fender. And it looks like there is superficial damage as well on the 15. Looks like he may have caved it in a little bit, but it doesn't seem that it will be too much here. It looks like he might be able to bear the brunt of it. He's just going to have a very tough car to deal with, but he is going into pit road. No damage getting fixed up on it, so he'll leave it as it is. Let's chat with one of the drivers here that's been having some troubles as well dealing with the track here today, but this is the driver, the number 14, Gabe Chavez here. Now, Gabe, man, talk about quite a little predicament situation everybody's been put into here. And again, I don't think, obviously, cautions breed cautions, but this track certainly seems to be giving everybody a bit of a hard time, doesn't it?
Yeah, a lot of people are hitting walls. It's been tough sledding for a lot of people out here. I think I've been able to luckily take advantage a bit. I'm in second position right now, and I think had that last caution not come out, I think I could have had something for Chris. I really think a fight for first place was in the works there, but we'll see how it goes this time around.
Well, I want to ask you about this too, because a lot of drivers seem to be kind of catching those on the curve there down on the bottom, catching a little bit too much into the black tarmac. Why is that seemingly being a bit of an issue for these drivers and kind of catching everyone in a bit of an issue here to get squared up?
I think a lot of people are trying to attack the yellow line, and as soon as you go beyond that, it flattens out and your car is going to get unsettled. So a lot of people are trying to, find whatever time they can, but I might just be overdriving it.
For sure there. Well, there, let's Gabe. We're going to let you get back down to the booth here. Ray, you've been circling on down there. Good luck down there, my friend.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Gabe Chavez right now getting ready to get back down to it here off the corners as we lead them rolling into the lanes. Watch that start because you're going to see a lot of them switching and swapping. Big jump for Chavez. And Casad way too low to the bottom. Open the door up for him. Diaz into the wall. We'll get it back out, but it is your new leader for the first time in Gabe Chavez. Chavez with the race lead now with a long run ahead of him. He knows he's going to have his work cut out for him. Dylan Jasperson and Isaiah Davis as well as Samuel Mitchell trying to lead their way back into this fight too. No one wants to give it up that easily. But the sun finally kind of arising on the track. The cloudy skies kind of now burrowing out a nice little bit of the sunrise behind. Mitchell trying to be considerate and smooth. Again, tires are everything here. You're going to see a lot of drivers trying their best to basically conserve and stay within reach. But others, they will go full throttle, full center, trying to outsmart the other. Isaiah Davis on the inside now looking to try to make his runoff. And he is successful. Casad, those burnt ends right now currently forcing him into a bit of a rough spot. But if you're the driver of that 18 motionless militia, you stayed out of trouble all this race. Now basically just trying to keep things in check and in order. It's best just not to tear up the equipment. Let the drivers do it themselves. In my opinion, that's extremely smart thinking on his end there. Even though he's losing up a lot of ground, Dylan Jesperson making his way in. Locked and loaded and heavy on the gas pedal. Jasperson trying to find a way around that 18. He's got a fresher car there. And obviously Alex Wilson as well, same situation. As you see other drivers trying to get back into this fight here. And that's one spinner right up ahead, Joshua Hayes. No caution out for him. But he does have a little bit of problems there coming down off the track. Looked like he might have got mixed up there with Luke Dietz here. Let's take a look at the replay. Came right, oh yeah, you can see it right there. Again, it's just so hard to keep these things away from doing that. But again, if you can try to avoid it with all costs, you just got to try to keep the thing as stable as you can get it. But running on that bottom lane, you just see a lot of drivers just absolutely getting cooked and tortured. Because again, it gets so loose up on that high center of gravity. And again, it looked like he kept it nice and straight there. But the next thing you know, he basically just plowed right in. No damage there for Diaz, but Hayes right now, the only damage he probably suffered is a little bit more of just temperamental damage there, and unfortunately, probably a little bit of tire wear as well. That certainly does not help anything either when you got this kind of a long run stint. And Isaiah Davis right now taking the race lead away from Gage Chavez. Didn't quite catch when he took the race lead away. Let's take a look at the replay and figure out what lap that one was on, because it looks like it wasn't too far off, but he certainly had to work as far as he could and quick as he could to get around to him. This was on lap number 62. You're going to see now on your screen. Look at him come right off turn number 2. Watch the speed. Look at this draft power he's got. Carries the Fearless 23 right in to the inside lane there and takes a good long look at that lane and taking full control. If now the long stints begin, that's where I believe these drivers are going to start really getting a good grasp, a feel, if you will, of what they're in for and what they're dealing with out on the circuit. Timing is everything, and patience will be a very key thing. As we look on through the distance right now, Dylan Jasperson trying to catch up there to Samuel Mitchell into the lanes and into the drive. As he's also currently dealing with some glitch-graphic gremlins trying to take him for one side or the other. He's dealing with the 33 up ahead of him here, but at the same time trying to fight the track. And again, this may look easy to you guys, but you got to realize something. When you're driving at these kind of speeds, this kind of level of car that's very, very loose, less than grippy, it's not the easiest thing in the world to ever take control of. And they're going in there at over 130 miles per hour, mind you. They're cooking these cars in those turns, and those tires got to be feeling every ounce of it right now. But Jasperson seemingly now starting to play the long-term game, the long-term strategy. He's letting Mitchell burn up his stuff, going up on the outside, trying to keep speed away from Dylan. But Dylan, because he ran to that bottom lane, you see there up at the top, Mitchell into the wall. Whoa, hold on down there. Almost took a little slap and a dash at the 17. Well, Nicholas Shriver avoiding that one, but that certainly did not help Mitchell's case any. He'll put it into pit road and try and see what it can do with it. Everybody right now just kind of figuring out their pace, kind of figuring out their strategy. Jonathan Shoemaker in and out of pit road right now, trying to get in there quickly. Samuel Mitchell, much of the same, but time not on their side. Again, when you go into pit road like that, it can definitely change your game plan, your strategy cards here. And that seems to have been the case. Out of pit road, Alex Wilson also finally starting to kind of rally up the troops. Got it in a 4 spot. He has started in 7 today. He's moved back into position here to maybe take a run for it. It's Christopher Cassad. At this point, kind of fell back a long ways from where he feels like he should be. And again, I wanted to go on board there with Cassad, honestly, because he wanted to see what he is doing inside that cockpit and what he's doing to be able to holster that wheel in as much as he did. It takes a lot of steering and a lot of timing and patience to keep everything in check. And Isaiah right now firing off quickly towards the inside run. He wants to put Cassad a lap down. He does. Now again, remember, a half-mile length. That doesn't mean he doesn't have ways to get back into this battle and back into this run. Shoemaker right now in that 15 needs to be careful, though, because again, all right, 10 laps down. Now about to be put even more laps down in this case here. Excuse me, he has 9 laps down. Could be 10 in a second. And up on the wall. Oh, even got right in there as Isaiah slammed that back door step there on him. Right front has been damaged up on the 23. The right front side of that car with a little bit of a kinker in there. And that is the big bad thing you don't want around here. And now Shoemaker looking to try to capitalize on it. He knows he's already laps down, just trying now at this point just to kind of make it or break it in this case and hope for the best. Isaiah doing everything he can to kind of stay away from causing more trouble, at the same time getting himself into more trouble. I'm surprised the 18 hasn't gone to pit road yet. I'm kind of wondering, is he trying to maybe outsmart the field? Is he trying maybe to just save up as much tires as he can for a final battle? Timing everything right now, and these drivers again just doing whatever they possibly can to just hang on and stick with it. Dylan Jaspin right now is catching up a little bit there onto the back of the 14 of Gabe Chavez. Let's take a look at our lap timing marker. The time delta sheet is presented in part by us here at Speed Zone TV. And you could see what I was talking about right there. There is a lot of hard runs and gaps being brewed. Definitely, I got to believe Jasperson liking what he's seen there. But at the end now, Chavez looks like kind of started to put the speed back on him. Lost a little bit of time there on lap number 97. What will it be for 98? It will be more or less gained. So Jasperson right now, at this point, maybe just trying to stay into consistency mode. Stick within his own reach, stick within his own drive. And hopefully he doesn't find himself in another rough situation here. And if there's one driver I feel like it's found himself in a more rougher situation today, it's got to be this A4 here of Luke Dietz. And again, it's not for the lack of trying. Again, Dietz, man, he just keeps finding himself in the worst possible scenarios, the worst possible situations. And it's really just all boils down to the cover subness of this car and how it handles. And again, with a short track like this, it's a lot harder to deal with and a lot harder to maintain and control, as he will now set it into pit road here. Must maintain pit speed. Yeah, this is where, like I said, those pit strategy calls are so crucial. This is where it ends up kind of fading out and fading in. It's now a marathon, if you will. Oh, whoa, 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 hold on, Cassad. Oh, no. And Cassad with a nasty situation there coming out turn number 4. Slipped it up and pulls the entire front housing in. Caution is out on the track. We've got a bad one up here. Not sure what exactly happened down there, but it looks like there has been a numerous amount of trouble down there. Taking a look at Cassad here and what got him into this situation. Can't seem to find Samuel Mitchell here, unfortunately, on our end here. Right off. Yeah, right here. This is where things got ugly. Yeah, he just came hard off turn number 4 there, and that car just basically ended up kind of sideswiping down on the inside of the lane there. He's definitely going to be taking some tires and definitely getting some fuel in that bad boy. We'll leave him alone for the moment here as we get ready to chat up with some of the other drivers down there. We're going to chat up here with the driver of the number 17, Nicholas Shriver. And Nick, man, talk about a bad break earlier on. You end up getting way too hard off the top side. Rear end slips out and taking you out of the race early. Now trying to climb back up with 3 laps still to go here to get back. I mean, how do you think your odds favor, and do you think you'll be able to get it done today?
I came back from like 5 laps down, raced up to 3, so as long as we have a couple more cautions, I should get back on the lead lap and should be able to fight for the lead.
Certainly indeed. Now, obviously, I know this has got a pretty bad fast Fireball Toyota on your end, or excuse me, Chevy on your end today. I mean, for you and your team, like, what do you think could be the best kind of predicament to find yourself in if you can get a good restart off this one?
Just a long enough run to let me get around the leader one more time, and then maybe a wreck for a lucky dog, and then I'll be right back up there.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, Nick, we do appreciate your time down there. Best of luck as you get ready to fire him back up down on the track.
Appreciate you.
Nicholas Tri Race fans having a quick little chat with us there, as he'll look to try and put this thing back into the spotlight, back into the top zone. Taking his tires, going to take his fuel and try to heal up any wounds he might have had left there. Alex Wilson, damage on the front of that nose here. Pretty bad, to say the least here, but he's going to hopefully try to outflank and outsmart on the run here as they get him squared up down off for turn number 4. Into the restart zone. Green flag back on out. Cassad behind. Up top side there, Wilson getting a little bit tight on the edge. Cassad was trying to find a quick way to pass him. Couldn't get it done. Yellow is out again. Yellow out on the track. Not sure what exactly started that one here, but it looks like might have been the 15 there, Shoemaker. See if we can get a good look from our vantage point here. Yeah, right there you see it. It looks like Shoemaker. Yep, he didn't even get out the line. And that caused a bit of a stir down there. The officials want to get everybody back in position and back where they're supposed to be playing out at. So that's obviously going to help a lot of drivers out, especially ones like Christopher Cassad right now. He's trying desperately to get his laps back. Let's go down there and have a quick chat with him. Cassad, you got a copy down there?
Hello, hello.
Ah, there he is. All right, well, nevertheless, Christopher, obviously quite a dilemma here and quite a position here. You started in first today, led a good majority of the laps, and then the tire strategies kind of came in, and then the long run kind of affected you. But how are you kind of now taking this in here in this motionless militia heat?
I'm just trying to get back on the lead lap. I didn't know I'd cook the tires as much as I did. They were under 10% when I finally pitted. I probably should have pitted a little earlier. So right now it's just trying to stay out of the trouble, get back on the lead lap.
Stay out of trouble. And, yeah, I was about to say, I mean, you've been doing a great job of staying out of trouble, but, I mean, now with the way things are kind of cooking up and shaping up, do you think maybe if you can get back into this fight, you'll have a chance for that race win?
I think so. If I have the fresher tires, I believe I definitely can. Because I was setting a pretty good pace and everything there at the beginning.
For sure there. All right, well, best of luck as you come to the restart, my good sir.
Thank you, thank you.
Head back to the restart indeed here as we fire him back up here once again. It will be Gabe Chavez leading it down. Isaiah Davis looking to hunt him back. Oh, then around goes the 44, Alex Wilson. Crashing on the back straightaway. We remain green. Wilson once again in another predicament. Couldn't find himself out of it. And just can't seem to catch up brake no matter what he does. That American Dew right now is turning into a sour dew. Just absolutely colliding into the inside wall there. Manages to at least keep it relatively on the cleaner side with the damage, but that front nose is already messed up pretty bad as it was. So in reality, really, you only just kind of added on to whatever was left of it. The battle is on in this marathon of a race here. Isaiah Davis trying to catch up to Gabe Chavez. Meanwhile, being the only two lead lap drivers. Everyone else trying to hunt back their laps and trying to get back in the top spots. Man, with this kind of high banked, high ends here of a half mile track, it is just so insane how much power, speed, and control you must nail down into the circuit. What you do when you're trying to figure out things as you get into it. Things starting to pick up a bit right now. Cassad right up there on Dylan Jasperson. Jasperson already a lap down still, at least from Cassad's side. But again, he is about 3 laps down from Chavez and Isaiah. And Isaiah right now starting to build up a little bit more runoff, trying to catch up to him. We are now halfway done with this race and with this position. Everybody right now still doing whatever they can do and whatever they can reach for. But it is just anybody's guess who will be able to figure out the best time in the line. Down into the chutes here. Everybody just doing whatever they can here just to kind of stay in their own rhythm, their own lane. Again, you got to see a lot of the rubber that is being burned down on the track here, again, is kind of more towards the bottom center of the track, which is, again, what I was kind of expecting here. This car, for all its faults, does kind of bring back a little bit of old Bristol in some ways. There's very less drivers going up on the outside quicker, and more running on the bottom lane, digging in the track. And as the track changes, the dynamics of the circuit make things a whole lot more interesting here. Bit of a roundhouse shot there from Reese Kelva here and Jonathan Shoemaker as both drivers edge to the point of oblivion. And you see Joshua Hayes fighting his way back into this as well. He's doing everything in his power here just to kind of stay with it, try to hopefully catch a break or a breather or anything. Shoemaker, again, just had quite a night on his hands. Again, you heard him say earlier on, he just wanted to stay in his own grasp, in his own lane, and not worry about the rest of what everyone else is doing. But as soon as that said, he unfortunately found himself in a bit of a problem there with Luke Diaz. And that 44 of Alex Wilson now coming right up into the shot. Oh, Shoemaker right into the wall. Oh! It takes a nasty back dinger there from the 44. He got his bell rung quite a bit there, but he's certainly staying in speed. Oh, that was a close one there. He got him right up in there, almost took Shoemaker to the inside corner and spun him right around. Hayes able to capitalize, and at this point, that's really kind of been his game can, is just hopefully capitalize on whatever he can get. Squared up into the back set now. Nicholas Shriver again doing everything he possibly can do to hopefully get himself back on the lead lap. But it is still almost kind of a futile effort for him and his team. Meanwhile, back to the race lead. It is a time delta gap situation here between Chavez and Davis. Chavez again, keeping everything up to par, up to stuff. Trying to roll everything he can into the lanes to try to hope for a break or a bit of an option or two. But just, if you're going to get anything you can, you might as well work as hard as you got and hope that maybe it might work out in your favor. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It's all about timing and execution. Davis is doing whatever he can. He wants to be one of only the third winner of this series. Remember, we've only had two winners in this series so far. Dylan Fink got one last time out, taking down Sean Bounty of all things. And Sean, ever since then, not being able to come out today, had to sit this one out, I believe, due to work-related reasons. So in this case, we will for sure have a brand new race winner, but it'll only be our third one of the season. Chavez wants to be it, but Isaiah Davis would love nothing more than to clip the wings off of that idea and that thought process inside the mind of the 14. Just under 100 laps left to race it out. But Davis is coming. He's stretching. He's clawing at the doorstep like a cat trying to get inside the house. Davis just wants to get into the race lead. Timing and execution is everything right now, and these drivers are well aware of it and acquainted, in my opinion, on it. I think, honestly, right now, the biggest thing going for Chavez, again, is the fact that he's basically on a little bit less of burnt end heads compared to Davis. Davis, though, with that one extra lap of tire, could be the difference maker. But again, I think Chavez is just trying to kind of make his way around as long as he can and kind of keep things in his own grace. And we got another one on the inside wall down there. It looks like that might have been the 12 there. It was. It was Joshua Hayes. Got slammed himself down into the wall. And yet again, just the infuriating frustration for the 12 today just continues to happen. Just a tumultuous day here for that 12 and his crew. And now the whole left front wheel housing smashed up. You see the fender piece breaking off on him. Just nothing he can do about it. And now he's going to have to pull it into pit road. He knows he can't continue on with it. So he'll pull it into his pit stop, trying to hopefully not miss his lane there. Because again, that tire is barely on the wheel rim. Tires are going on. He's going to get damage fixed up as well on that one. We'll see how much of a difference maker that improves for him. Davis now falling further back from Chavez. It's a full second back from him in this case. The opportunities are running lower and lower on his end of the bargain. Alex Wilson and Dylan Jasperson right now doing everything they can to try to stay one step ahead of each other in that battle for fourth. Wilson getting the better of him in this case, but it has just been opportunity after opportunity striking amongst themselves. Wilson looking on now, sees some race leaders he needs to pass to get laps back. What on earth must be going through the mind of Wilson? What is he thinking? Does he try to get to the inside? Oh, yeah, he's going to get to the inside. He throws Davis. Davis overdriving it into the wall protection out the corner. Kelva trying to get out of that mess, too. Wilson having to back down. Both drivers nearly getting themselves into a bit of a rut, bit of a scruffle, if you will. And Davis has got a problem, a major problem. He's gone to pit road. What has happened to the 23? What has happened to the driver? The 23, has he completely shattered anything left residually he had on that right front? Take a look at the replay. Slammed off the wall protection coming down off the corner and ends up completely taking this one into a bad spot. Yep, there you see it. The whole right front housing destroyed from that wall. To me, it didn't even look like he really smashed it up that bad, but he's calling it a night. The race is over for Davis. He can't believe it. An absolutely frustrating end to his run as caution has come out on the track here. We got another one spun up and crashed up. Reese Kelva has come to a stop. There you see it. You can see it again. You saw a minute ago what that machine there of Davis had. And it unfortunately was too much to bear. But what has happened to Kelva, I wonder? Let's take a look at the replay here and see this one. Looks like he got himself into a little bit of trouble, if you will. And it was with him and the number 26. Came down a little bit. He's trying to probably kind of hold that 26 off and get ready for the corner. Him and Jasperson slamming into the inside wall, and now you see the damage that is left behind. Jasperson definitely getting the worst of it. Pure pandemonium all around the track right now here as everyone just tries their best to just get whatever they can left out of their cars. Field now going to park themselves into pit road here and take a splash of fuel, some new tires, and hopefully they can reclaim and redeem whatever they have left and whatever they've lost in it. Green flag up again as Ned Chavez leading us back down. It's hard to believe, but again, he is the only one on the lead lap right now. Cassad is only a lap down. Oh no, there's trouble down there again. Trouble again. Caution out on the track. And it's for Alex Wilson. We'll take a look at the replay and see what happened here. It looked like coming off turn number 4. Yep, right there. Oh, right in front of Nicholas Shriver. Oh, man. As if things couldn't get bad or worse for either one of them. It somehow finds a way. Oh, look at Shriver. That rear end toe link is destroyed. He's crab walking that car around. I don't know if he's got any more instant repairs left. Just bad to worse, and then worse to ugly. Terrible, terrible situation here. Down for the drivers on the track. Cassad, though, now rejoins the track on the lead lap. The momentum may be shifting around, maybe giving everybody else the worst possible time and the worst possible end here. But one thing is for certain. Nothing is out of the question at this point. Who will be the one to give this one up? Who will be the one to let this one fly by? It is do or don't in this case here. Off the restart here, Gabe Chavez getting a great jump. Cassad thrown off by Dietz there. As Dietz had to get his position back from where he was pointed at. And Cassad losing all that speed. He'll have to work hard to get back to him. Chavez leads it. Piled in around the track right now. Cassad's still trying to get around lap traffic, trying to get through traffic if he can. Dietz again going to the very bottom end of the circuit. I don't think it's for a lack of thought or forefront. I think it's mainly just so he can kind of keep things well within his own reach. I think he likes kind of keeping it where he was at there. Reese Kelville with more issues down the track here. It's coming to a slowdown here. We'll take a look and see what exactly transpired that got him into this mess. Yeah, once again, it's those exits. Again, you're probably wondering at home, why are they having so much issues with these exits and these corners? Well, I'm going to kind of explain this the best way I can, but think of it as banking as the way that you would think when you're running on an ice rink with a car. As soon as those tires, if they're not made for that ice rink, hit around the track or you don't have everything all on the ground, well, let's just say it's like it is really driving on ice and you cannot get any kind of steering back on it. It will slip up on you and throw you for a curveball. That's why with a lot of these drivers, you're seeing a lot of them trying their best to basically kind of gingerly get back on the gas pedal and kind of take themselves back into position and back on the run. You see right there, you can see where the banking kind of goes up top, gives them a little bit of speed to run off, but as soon as those cars basically square back up onto the straightaway, it's almost like an ice rink to these things, and they're just doing everything they possibly can to kind of stick with it. Giving you guys a little bit of an idea how far Casad and Chavez are from one another and how the tempo and the pacing has taken off. You know, it's not surprising to me that we only have so many drivers on the lead lap. I think what's more surprising to me has been how tough this one's played out on the drivers and thrown them for loops around here. The timing and execution of these guys here doing whatever they possibly can to try to maintain distance, control, and power has been very overwhelming, I bet, for some of them. But again, it is an absolute unit of a track. There's a reason why some people consider this place a crown jewel. It's because this track has so much history to it, so much at stake, and being able to say, hey, you won at Bristol, I don't think there's any other greater feeling than that, in my opinion. It just feels like a reward like none other. We've currently had Reese Kelva out of the race. Dylan Jasperson is currently trying to get his car fixed up to get back out on the track to get the lap back from Reese, hoping that Gabe and Christopher don't finish this race before he can get back out there. Sammy Mitchell is already out. I believe he lost it I believe he was out due to numerous infractions with the Glitchcraft Gremlins. Joshua Hayes and Isaiah Davis both struggling Hayes mainly struggling to get that speed back and the momentum. Davis calling it quits after the damage was too far of an issue. Hayes basically has to make up 23 more laps on Isaiah, but does have time to do it. And it seems though Nicholas Shriver is out of this race as well. So really, that only leaves us with, it looks like, 6 drivers that are still in contention to race. Gotta believe a lot of that, honestly, earlier frustration that 17 went through and got put into has been just absolutely weighing on him. Luke Dietz finally getting around the 17 here. Does make a pass. Just being on the track here, pulling into the 5th spot now. Crazy to think that he's been in a lot of messes and situations today, and the Miller Lite 84 somehow, some way, is still in it. That's just that old mentality of the race isn't over until you see the checker flag wave. Cassad here about 6 seconds back at Chavez. If everything stays clean and green, though, we haven't really seen any clean green flag pit stops other than obviously those that needed to get damaged there and fixed up. .45 laps now left to go. Chavez holding the race lead. Alex Wilson trying to keep things well out of Shoemaker Dietz's hands here. Maybe even Kelva, or excuse me, even Jasper if he gets back out. Shoemaker, Wilson right now currently in a bit of a bind here as they're looking maybe to get some time back here. Cassad will be the first one to blink. He goes to pit road. Cassad in pit road in the pit stop. Tires going on. Now he's got to hustle. Lost an extra 2 laps there to Chavez. Honestly, if I'm Chavez right now, I think I probably actually want to be looking at maybe getting tires here soon enough, or if not, by the next time around. Keep Cassad down while you can. Keep those fresh sets on before he can get things built up, unless he thinks he can outrun him for another 40 laps on those burnt up sets. Gotta take a quick look and see where he's at on the pit stops. Chavez winning on lap 170. So he would have had to run over 80 laps on those tires. Execution will be everything right now, and timing will need to be perfect for the 14 to stay in this position. Because again, if I'm sad right now, I'm absolutely tearing this thing a new one to get back to him. Therein lies the hard part about it, though. You're having to run gaps down harder. You're having to put more speed on the track and hope it all works out in your favor. It's a lot to ask for out of a man versus machine kind of a story. Up in the wall protection there, and a little bit of a problem. Shoot up on around the circuit. What has happened to Chavez? Got him maybe a little bit too sidewindy, maybe. Maybe got a little too hard on that wall protection. Either way, he's got work cut out for him now because he's got company on his doorstep again. Chavez looking to hunt him back. And Cassad right now looking to get back his 2 laps he wants. If he can get the first one, he'll have a shot. But he has to still get around Chavez one more time and then make one last dash to catch him. And oh no, that didn't sound good down there. Motor quit on one of them. Trying to see if we can figure out which one it was. I'm not getting a name down there. It looks like it might have been the number 17 there. The motor finally blowing on the 17 of Shriver, and just absolutely maddening to think. And you can just see the wear and tear this track has done on these drivers and the damage it's caused them. I think it's the first time we've seen Cassad actually shift all day long into the night skies. It looks like he's trying to bolster any kind of power he can get left out of it. But I don't think it's giving him anything extra or anything better here. Gabe is absolutely running on all kinds of fumes and power he can here. He knows his strategy is a very risky one, but there's only 25 laps left that needs to be completed, and he's still 2 laps ahead here of Cassad. Caution comes out. It will not favor Cassad. It will actually favor Gabe, because Gabe could just go in and take tires and put this one to bed. If it stays green, it's going to be really hard to see what the fuel run and everything goes on Gabe versus Cassad. Oh, man, what must be going through the mind of that 18 right now? What must be going through the mind of this 14? Knowing that this one is playing further and further into the zone. Now Cassad getting caught up there by the number 12. It's hard to believe, but Joshua Hayes actually has made up a lot of ground and time here. Diaz goes to pit road. He'll be the last one we've had so far in a while to go to pit road on our green flag run. We're getting a good idea of what these drivers are facing up against and dealing with in this case. And Diaz now back out of pit road here, looking to try and maintain the grip, maintain the distance. Far and away, honestly, I've been very surprised here with the 84 in terms of being able to stay consistent. And again, probably not staying out of trouble as much as he'd like to. But for what he lacked there, he stayed relatively in his own zone. Alex Wilson caught up there by Shoemaker. And Shoemaker, again, 3 laps down to Wilson. So he's trying everything he can with what levers left. Time elapsing, time continuing to pull forward and pull these drivers into a new realm, if you will. Chavez with only 15 laps to go. I think this one's going to kind of play out in his favor. Chavez, in my opinion, probably playing this race out better than anybody else has. I don't even recall him ever really getting loose or into a bad situation, except for the first set, on the first set of laps, where he got put 3 wide and then taken for a bit of a loop. Did something change in the driver's mindset to, at that point, say, okay, I can't let that happen again. I got to stay focused on my run and stay focused only on me. Was that the move that switched the brain and the mind of the thought process that went through the number 14? That needs to be answered, in my opinion, because honestly, what he has been able to do has just been absolutely nothing short of impressive. Cassad, in my opinion, I thought was going to be the driver to watch out for in this race. I thought, honestly, he was going to be the guy that was going to be able to dictate the pace early and dictate this run. But it seems as though this was not the case. And you can see now the power of the 12 coming right up here on the 18. Cassad, again, just does not want another caution. He wants to hopefully maybe get one last chance at Gabe. But again, he's running out of laps. He's running out of time. Gabe just doesn't look like he's going to slow down at all. He looks like he's pretty much put this one to bed. You can just see how smooth, how crucial he is on and off the throttle. In and out, not trying to overpower it, not trying to overdrive it. It's just been pure, unalterated consistency at its finest. Final 5 laps now ensuing. Coming up on the white flag lap, race fans, this one is all but wrapped up. Gabe Chavez just absolutely tortured this track, tortured the drivers with smart calls and strategy, laying low when he had to, and makes this one come into victory lane. He's your winner at Bristol and only our 3rd winner so far of the Citadel Next Gens. And it's time for a celebration down here in Bristol, Tennessee. I think Gabe honestly just can't even believe it right now too. He's slowing down to a bit of a crawl here, realizing he just did something special. He got a win on a very tough, unalterated course. A track that had many people circle on their list as a track they want to get to victory lane at one day. This today was that moment and that opportunity. Quite a remarkable performance to say the least here. Let's now take a look at our race results presented in part by Lightning Wraps. This one was a doozy, but Gabe Chavez able to get this one to victory lane. Laps the field. Christopher Cassad going 2nd. Alex Wilson 3rd. Jonathan Shoemaker 4th. 5th to Luke Diaz. 6th to Joshua Hayes. 7th to Nick Shriver. 8th to Reese Kelva. 9th to Dylan Jasper. 10th goes to Isaiah Davis. Rounding out your finisher, Samuel Mitchell, finishing not on the lead lap either. He now joins me here in victory lane, race fans, the driver of the 14. And Gabe, my word, good sir, what a long, long road this one was. Early on, you get trapped up in a 3-wide salute, the first one and only one of the night, but you were able to basically take what you got done out of that and go fighting back out of this one. Talk me through what this one must feel like, my friend.
Long. It was. I'm sweating a lot. It was exhausting, but I'm so happy. Like I just found the rhythm, was able to just put down consistent lap times, and I didn't really feel too much tire fall off. Like obviously it was there, but I was just changing my line, using a little bit more brake, and I was able to keep the times pretty consistent. And yeah, just take advantage of people wrecking and working my way around. Didn't really make any pit stop mistakes that I would say. Like everything put me right where I wanted to be. So it was a great race, and I'm just so happy that things came together the way that I wanted to finally.
Yeah, it definitely was a lot at stake here and a lot on your mind and plate, of course. Now, I ask you this real quick here, Gabe. Obviously, this was a very, very long, difficult race here. I mean, but it looked like compared to the other drivers, the only thing you really did that was different was basically just stay consistent on your throttle rhythm and your timing. You never tried to overpower or overdrive the track. Was that basically kind of the keys to success to be able to take down Bristol today?
Yeah, exactly. I was doing a lot of practice, and exiting turn 4, I was having a lot of trouble. I just kept spinning it, and so eventually I made the choice to like, all right, let's just take it a little easier on the throttle out of there. Maybe it's not like, I don't know, maybe lap time wouldn't be as quick, but it's certainly quicker than throwing it into the wall. So was just taking it easier through there, and the just being able to be consistent just was the complete key to the race today.
Absolutely, indeed. Well, nevertheless, Gabe, this was definitely a long, fought, drawn out fight and battle to the end. But you, my friend, come today as the race winner here, and only our third driver of the season. Who do you want to thank for this one?
Oh man, I gotta thank my girlfriend being so supportive of sim racing for me. Just being totally supportive of the time that I put into it. And I think also I gotta thank another driver out there, Reese, because he gave some tips pre-race about some of the lines and where you might want to lift and brake, and it really changed what I was doing, and I think it helped me a ton today. So shout out to both those.
For sure, there indeed. Well, nevertheless, Gabe, this has been a well earned and deserved race win for you. Congratulations getting it done down on the track today.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Race fans, your race winner tonight here at Bristol, Gabe Chavez. Now joining me here in the runner-up spot once more here, the driver of the 18, Christopher Cassad. And Cassad, man, good Lord, dude. It just seems like when you find a way to get a good spot and good qualifying position, just something has to happen to kind of catch you off guard. And it looked like this time it was the strategy call and the way the cautions kind of flew that kind of took you out of this one.
Yeah, for me, strategy, I misjudged the tire fall off at the beginning of the race. I shouldn't have gone as long as I did, um, as I said earlier. And then I thought pitting with about 45 left, tires would have been enough to pass Gabe and possibly get back on the lead lap, or maybe scare him into pitting himself so we could have a battle there at the end. But no, Gabe just had the better car today
Yeah, the better card.
over long haul.
Yeah, he certainly did indeed. There it seems in this case here, but obviously, Christopher, you had a very smart game plan here. You kind of you stayed out of trouble almost the entire race. Only I believe into a wall a couple times, but really it was just kind of due to the fact you had to run through traffic. I mean, did traffic in a way kind of affect how the outcome of this one played in your mind? You think?
Uh, I think traffic did have a little impact. It also did jumble up some of our restarts with the traffic, how they were, like you said, the cautions were falling and everything like that. Um, like there was one caution where I got the lucky dog, but it still said I was a lap down. So if it hadn't been for that, I would have been on the lead lap sooner. But like I said, Gabe, he just had the better car this race, so uh, I don't think I even with a fresh set of tires, I didn't have anything for him. So I got to give hats out to Gabe there.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless, Christopher, obviously still a long, long road and race here for you and your team. You still come out swinging with a top three position here. Who do you want to thank here today for this podium finish?
I actually got to thank a lot of the members in here. I got to thank Reese. As Gabe said, he was given some advice during practice session, which I was able to use for my qualifying run in the beginning portion of the race. And then everyone else in here too, Dylan, Shu, Alex, Nick, everyone's been really helpful making sure we can have as much fun as we can in these races.
Sure there. All right. Well, nevertheless, Christopher, obviously, what a performance from you and your team here. Congratulations doing this end to the end for second place.
Yep. Look forward to seeing you at the Tricky Triangle next week.
Sounds great. We will see you then, buddy. Congratulations again.
You too.
Christopher Cassad here once again going in for a second place finish here. We join now with our final driver to chat with tonight. Driver of the number 44 here going from 7th to 3rd. Alex Wilson joins us now. And Alex, I know obviously you didn't want to end up as many laps down as you did here, but to be able to scratch a call and still fight out for a 3rd place finish, I mean, considering you started 7th, definitely got to be feeling pretty happy and satisfied about that one today.
Yeah, I hate that I caused the wreck with Nick earlier in the race. I apologize to him for that. I ended up hitting somebody in the rear, and it caused me to be extremely tight going into the turn, and just car just wouldn't turn after that. And then coming out of the turn, it felt like ice.
Felt like ice indeed. I know obviously there was a lot going on, a lot at stake here for you and your team. You know, a lot of crazy racing mixed in between too. I mean, really, what was kind of the mindset here of dealing with the added pressure and the added drive that these guys were all punting up with you there today?
I really wanted to kind of just cruise for the first little bit, and then maybe start making way forward. I just tried to pass people when I had the opportunity as cleanly as I could. I'd gotten a few little incidents, but all in all, you know, come in, get them last set of tires, and it helped me get a little bit drive off the turn, so I was able to kind of push and pass some people there at the end.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless here, obviously, Alex, a long road and a very tough ordeal here, but nevertheless, you still make the best out of it here with the 3rd place finish. Who you want to thank you for that?
I'd like to thank all the other competitors. I'd like to thank you. Just everybody who, you know, during practice was giving me tips and stuff like that on how to set up my car, because I've not ran at this track a whole lot. But that's about it.
For sure there. Well, nevertheless here, Alex, a very long road and a tough battle here at the end, but you managed to come away 3rd. Congratulations for that, and we hope to see you next time out, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Race fans, Alex Wilson finishing this one up with us here today as we're going to close out tonight. A big thank you to Citadel Next Gens for having us come on by here to Bristol Motor Speedway. Big thank you to Lightning Raps Dead Man's Hit List as well for helping us out. And until next time, race fans, be safe, take care, God bless. Have a good night from us here at Bristol.